Hey everyone, today we're diving deep into episode 5 of The Beginning After the End, and oh my god, the plot is getting so good. So episode 5 starts with Arthur being captured by elven soldiers. He's thinking, how did I get myself caught in Tessia's innocence? He tries asking Tessia for help, but she's just glaring at him angrily. The soldiers are about to attack Arthur when suddenly Tessia snaps out of it and shouts, "Stop! Don't hurt Arthur! He's not a bad person, he saved me!" The soldiers aren't buying it though. One of them says, "I can't believe it. Not only did you fake saving him, but you've been brainwashed by this human." But then, plot twist, a portal opens and another elf appears who orders the soldiers to stand down. This is Tessia's grandfather, Virion. He says if someone like you stands beside our kingdom's only princess, of course our soldiers would attack. I apologize for that and thank you for saving Princess Tessia. Arthur is completely shocked. "Princess? This girl is a princess?" Virion replies, "Tessia, didn't you tell him you're a princess?" Tessia innocently asks, "Did I not mention it?" And Arthur confirms she definitely did not. Then Tessia's parents arrive, Alduin and Meriel, the current king and queen of the Elven kingdom, while Virion is the former king. Tessia immediately runs to them. Alduin demands, "What is a human doing here? Soldiers, why is this human child still alive?" Virion explains, "I ordered them not to kill him because this human child saved our princess and brought her to our home." Tessia jumps in. Yes. Arthur is a very good person. He saved me. Don't torture him." Her father hesitates, but eventually agrees not to harm Arthur. Later, Tessia takes Arthur's hand and leads him on a tour around the city. Arthur notices that all the elves were uncomfortable seeing a human child because long ago, a massive war broke out between humans and elves. Arthur keeps thinking about how Tessia looked at him angrily when the soldiers captured him. He wonders why she was so serious and angry at that moment. Meanwhile, the pain in his chest from not controlling his dragon power keeps getting worse. Back at the palace, Tessia asks Arthur what they should do next. Maybe get some snacks? But Arthur suggests they should first explain everything to her parents about what happened in the forest. During a serious meeting at the dining table, Tessia insists Arthur sit down and eat with them. Arthur is shocked, thinking, is it normal to eat with the king and queen like this? Alduin introduces himself. "My name is Alduin, king of this country and Tessia's father, and this is my wife, Tessia's mother, Meriel." Arthur introduces himself. "My name is Arthur Lewin. I come from a poor family in the Sappan kingdom. I know I don't deserve to stand before the Elven king, but thank you for giving me this opportunity." Alduin notes, "Despite being born into a poor home, your parents have given you a good education." Arthur thinks to himself, well, if I don't introduce myself this way, these people will take me lightly like a child. Arthur tells them everything that happened in the forest. After hearing about Tessia's kidnapping, Alduin becomes furious. "They kidnapped my daughter to make her a slave? What else can we expect from filthy humans?" Virion asks, "How did you escape? Did you negotiate with them or beg for mercy?" Arthur responds, "I'm sorry, former king, but neither of those happened. I may look like a child, but I can use magic myself." The soldiers become angry. "Are you joking? How can a small child do that?" Virion gets upset too and tells the soldiers, "Enough! How many times must I tell you to keep your swords under control?" Tessia supports Arthur. "Arthur is telling the truth. When I was captured, I heard they were going to sell me." Seeing his family's treatment of Arthur, Alduin says, "All right, I'll believe you." Arthur says, "Thank you, king. As you know, I've come far from home bringing the princess here. I request that you send me back to my kingdom as soon as possible." Alduin replies, "So you want this as your reward? Even though you know there's hatred between humans and elves?" Tessia glares angrily at her father, which makes him nervous. Alduin explains, "Well, the portation gate to Sappan Kingdom only opens once every 7 years when the heads of the 3 kingdoms stand together, and that happened just 2 years ago. There are still 5 years left." Arthur thinks to himself, 5 years? That's such a long time. Alduin continues, "No matter what, we can't keep a human in our kingdom for that long. Tomorrow, as soon as possible, our army will escort you home." Arthur thanks him, thinking, "Finally I can go home." But then his chest starts hurting severely again, which Virion notices. That night, Arthur is standing on the balcony of his room. He notices the king and queen spending quality time with Tessia on a nearby balcony. He thinks about his parents, Reynolds and Alice, wondering if they're still alive. He misses them terribly and wonders if they'll smile when they see him again, since what happened to them was because of him. Tessia finds Arthur and calls out to him. Arthur jokes, "I hope I'm not wasting the princess's time." Tessia responds, "Why are you joking with me like that? Art, I'm sorry for how my family treated you." Arthur says, "It's understandable to be concerned about your daughters. That's why you can act like a princess and wrap your parents around your finger." Tessia replies, "Don't joke with me like that. When you meet your parents again, you'll feel the same way." Arthur becomes sad and asks, "Are you telling the truth? Will they be happy to see me? Because I was responsible for the attack we got caught in." Tessia becomes sad too and grabs Arthur's cheek, squeezing it firmly. "Yes, of course your parents will be very happy to see you. In fact, they must be very worried because you haven't gone home." The garden is filled with fireflies and they play together. Arthur remembers his parents again. Suddenly a powerful attack comes toward Tessia. Arthur senses it and blocks it with his hands. He channels magic into his feet, runs and kicks the attacker hard. Then he realizes it's Tessia's grandfather, Virion. Arthur demands, "What kind of grandfather are you? How could you make such a deadly attack on Tessia?" Virion replies, "Do you really think I could kill someone with this?" Arthur opens his hands and sees it's just a flower with fireflies. Virion continues, "You caught my attack in the blink of an eye. It seems what you said wasn't a lie." Tessia comes over and says, "Grandfather, please stop bothering Art." Virion responds, "I just came here to test Arthur's strength." He creates a wooden sword with magic and gives it to Arthur, then moves Tessia to the side with magic so she won't get hurt. They're both ready to fight. Arthur raises his sword and attacks Virion, but Virion easily dodges. No matter how many times Arthur attacks, Virion dodges effortlessly. Arthur thinks to himself, "He's really powerful. I've increased my movement speed using mana, but this guy is still much faster than me." They continue fighting intensely. When Virion attacks, Arthur blocks it and tries to counterattack, but Virion dodges again and breaks Arthur's wooden sword with one strike. A small piece flies toward Tessia, but Arthur uses the remaining piece in his hand to change its direction. Virion is amazed by Arthur's skill. Arthur channels powerful magic in his hands and attacks Virion, thinking, "I've fought many beasts in the arena, but this man is many times more powerful." Virion overpowers Arthur's magic, sending him flying backward. Arthur gives it his all, attacking at full speed and landing a hit on Virion's head. Virion says, "I never thought you could touch me. Let's start the second round." But Tessia comes from behind and pokes her grandfather hard to stop another round so Arthur can rest. Arthur says, "Sir, thank you very much for fighting with me. It's my good fortune." Virion responds, "If that's the case, then become my disciple." Arthur is shocked and asks, "Are you serious?" Virion replies, "Do I look like I'm at an age to joke?" Arthur says, "But I haven't been able to tell my parents that I'm still safe." Virion responds, "Then I have an arrangement through which you can inform your parents from here that you're alive and well." Arthur asks, "Is that possible?" Suddenly Arthur's chest hurts severely again, and he clutches it, falling to his knees. Virion says, "I knew you had a beast's power inside you." "Right, child. Listen to me, become my disciple, or this pain will only bring you death." And that's it for today's episode breakdown. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, this is Scene Decoded signing off.